Hello, this is Giancarlo Rendina speaking, and this presentation is on the social media platform LibraryThing. You can find LibraryThing at librarything.com, and from time to time I may refer to the site as LT. Please don't be thrown off by that. Okay, let's get started. LibraryThing is a social cataloging application. Social cataloging apps are well suited for interaction with others who have similar interests. It's sort of like virtual collecting and sharing. Many fandoms use social cataloging applications. For example, anime enthusiasts have Anime News Network. Comics lovers have Comic Book DB. For those who love books primarily, but also movies and music, there's LibraryThing. Here are the basic stats of LibraryThing. You get your live date, location, creator, and number of users estimate. LibraryThing makes cataloging possible by importing data through Z3950 connections with libraries and from 6 Amazon.com stores. In other words, LibraryThing has public, academic, and business connections partners. Dublin Core and MARC records come from 690 libraries. The user experience is simpler than that makes it sound. Users search for books and the site retrieves information about the books, similar to sites like Goodreads. LibraryThing allows users to create personal databases. That's the whole cataloging application thing. Books added can document a reader's history, books read, and/or books one aspires to read or own. Users can rate books and write reviews. LibraryThing is free for the first 200 books of your library. After that, there's a fee structure, $10 annually or $25 lifetime. Getting started with LibraryThing is familiar and easy. I joined with my Twitter account. That was one click. Done. Once signed up, I found it easy to use right away to search for books and build my library. If you just need to organize your personal book collection, this is the site for you. But LT does more than that. It connects you to a community. LibraryThing will make recommendations for you based on your activity, and you can access other recommendations lists as well. The reviews are a great example of interaction on the site. If you have something to say about a book, you can write a review. You can also browse tags as a means of discovering new books. For any given book, tags are presented in a word cloud, allowing you to take your explorations further. As of today, there are 2,046,585 members. Information like that is easy to find. Nevertheless, LibraryThing seems to be pretty tight-fisted about demographics on its users overall. Searching the site and some literature review did not reveal too much. I did find a user comment in the talk section stating that Tim Spalding does not like to share this type of stuff. It seems to be the ethos of the site not to openly present demographics from user profiles. One reason for this is what's missing from user profiles. LT does not ask for race, gender, or age information. However, for current global activity and local demographic data, there's plenty of information to be found. Here are 2 images from my local tab with information about local venues and a Google map of my area with activity I might be interested in, and I can find members in my area. I found this information graphic in the Zeitgeist Common Knowledge tab. It depicts global LibraryThing activity. Now let's look at the main features of LibraryThing. Home. Pretty standard features on an SM site. It's clean and familiar. The home page has a customizable dashboard, and dashboard elements are referred to as modules. Some examples of these are connections, recommendations, reviews, stats and memes, clouds, and authors. They're all found on the home page. LibraryThing makes some of the best use of word clouds that I've ever seen. Profile. This is your personal profile. Choose as much or as little as you want to share about yourself. It's how you keep up with your LT friends and find similar libraries. From the profile, you can upload pictures, leave public or private comments, edit your profile, and customize your account settings. You can also see your recent activity here. Adding books. Library Thing is all about building your personal virtual library, and this is where you start. Add books by searching, or you can even use a barcode scanner. You can manually add books or use various import methods. Universal Import, Goodreads Import, and Mark Import are all compatible with Library Thing. This is the place for searching. My search was guided by an interest in cataloging my reading history, books that I have read as a public library worker specifically. In the Add Books section, you can also tag your titles as you go. Add Books is where the power to gather book information comes from. In Search Where, retrieval options such as Amazon.com books and the Library of Congress can be selected. Your books. This is the section where you sort and edit the books in your library. You can rate the titles and create separate collections. Editing can be done for individual titles or in batches. If your tags are missing or you want to change them, you can do that here. You can get more information about your books on work and author pages. There's even more editing capability there, including the ability to change cover images and edit common knowledge facts. These are the features that bring members together. The Groups tab features group tags, groups active this week, standing in official groups, groups with the most members, and groups community projects. Of course, from here you can also access your local groups. The largest group here by membership is Librarians Who Library Thing with over 9,000 members. Note here how the group tags make use of word cloud there at the top of that image. The Talk tab is the discussion board of Library Thing. It's aggregated from the groups based on most recent. Local. Just a little to the right of groups is local. This is the place for events, libraries, and bookstores in your area. But the local CK tab is also where I got that screenshot, which you saw earlier, of global activity within the last 24 hours. Zeitgeist collects and presents data from LT members, yet another example of the distinct feature of the site. Well named, it is the spirit of Library Thing right now. Elements are updated frequently here. Zeitgeist is fun, incorporating LT statistics and some cool categories. These lists range from book rankings to lists of the more, I guess you could say, whimsical sort. Some examples are the 50 lowest rated authors, top 50 tags, and 100 completest authors. Other tabs in Zeitgeist reveal more aggregated member content on books and authors. It's also where contributor information can be found. Contributors to LT are called helpers. More. Right there next to Zeitgeist is More. More connects you with other applications, allows you to customize with widgets, and will even hook you up with free books. The features already discussed are pretty good. Some of these are distinctive from other SM platforms we've seen. This presentation will wrap up with the things LT really excels at and set it apart. The really great stuff. Common Knowledge. When you click on a book title, Common Knowledge is in the left sidebar. Selecting this allows users to edit the metadata on books and authors. This is crowdsourcing cataloging, that whole cataloging concept from way back at the beginning of this talk. The user experience is very wiki-like in terms of the setup. WikiThing. Speaking of wikis, Library Thing has a wiki embedded within, and it's called WikiThing. It can be accessed from the footer of every page. Its layout is much like the wikis we're familiar with, like Wikipedia, with navigation, search tools, and page details in the left sidebar. There's some interesting content, but for the most part, it's somewhat thin. Since anyone can edit a wiki, further development should be anticipated. Legacy libraries. Library Thing members create libraries for famous people by doing research and collaborating with one another. Information can come from primary source material, such as interviews. Artists, musicians, aristocrats, institutions, and of course writers are all subjects for the legacy libraries. Some libraries are considered complete, such as the one for David Bowie, while others may show a status of in progress. The library for Edward Gorey is in progress, for example. Selecting the in progress setting will allow any LT user to add to the information. Okay, in addition to my activity on the website, here's the stuff I looked at to bring this presentation to you. Thanks.